Are Teen Mom fans slamming Catelynn Lowell for an epic adoption law error she recently made on TikTok Live? The mother of four has talked consistently about the daughter she and her now husband, Tyler Baltira, gave up for adoption when they were teenagers. She has caught a lot of heat for speaking nonstop about Carly and how unfair it is that she has been cut off from her, but is there more to the story? Keep reading for further details. Fans slam Catelynn Lowell for adoption law fail. Catelynn Lowell and Tyler Baltira gave up their baby, Carly, when they were teenagers. It was all documented on the hit MTV series 16 and Pregnant. At the time, this was the best decision for their child to have the best possible life. However, the young couple did have an open adoption with Brandon and Teresa Davis, which allowed them to see Carly once a year. That made it somewhat bearable despite how broken they were. They went on to star on Teen Mom, which followed their visits to see Carly over the years. Catelynn and Tyler went on to have 3 more daughters plus get married, an event that Carly and her adoptive parents attended. Yet, as Carly approached 15 in 2024, a visit was not in the cards. Then, Catelynn was blocked from reaching out to Carly. She has maintained Carly wanted to be around Cats, Tyler, and her siblings. Unfortunately, Catelynn keeps airing her dirty laundry and bashing Carly's adoptive parents, which fans think needs to stop. Now, she has gone on TikTok Live to discuss adoption laws, and some fans think she has gotten it all wrong. Catelynn Lowell discussed how her adoption is now closed. Since it was an open adoption, it was not legally binding. Therefore, the adoptive parents can close and reopen it whenever they choose. However, the way that Kate spoke made it seem like all adoptions were like that. This made fans livid, and they headed right to Reddit to share their thoughts. She seems to equate open adoption not being legally binding. Why B&T could close the adoption, with all adoption not being legally binding. Think before you speak. Teen Mom fans were not happy with how Catelynn Lowell failed to think before she spoke. She was generalizing adoption, and that is very misleading to those who are new to the situation. I'm really tired of these uneducated, unemployed losers. If they were to get a job, they wouldn't have time for all the misinformation they are spewing. They need help. They gave her up for adoption so she would have a life they couldn't provide. What are they doing right now? Dragging that same child into the same kind of family drama they wanted to keep her out of? All this does is cement the fact that Kate gave up her daughter to keep her man, and maybe now she has regrets. Followers were also tired of Catelynn being fixated on Carly when she had 3 beautiful girls at home to take care of. They felt that she was using her for money and a storyline that was getting tiring. Do you think Catelynn needs to think before she speaks, or is that out of her realm at this point? Let us know and watch Teen Mom. The next chapter Thursdays on MTV. Teen Mom fans criticize Catelynn Lowell for adoption law missteps on TikTok Live. Catelynn Lowell, a prominent figure from the MTV series Teen Mom, has once again found herself in the spotlight, this time for a controversial statement she made during a TikTok Live session. The mother of 4 has been open about the daughter she and her now husband, Tyler Baltira, gave up for adoption when they were teenagers. However, her recent comments about adoption laws have sparked a wave of criticism from fans. The adoption story Catelynn and Tyler's journey with their daughter, Carly, was documented on the hit MTV series 16 and Pregnant. At the time, the young couple made the difficult decision to give Carly up for adoption, believing it was the best choice for their child's future. They had an open adoption with Brandon and Teresa Davis, which allowed them to see Carly once a year. This arrangement helped ease the pain of separation, despite the emotional turmoil they experienced. Over the years, Catelynn and Tyler went on to star on Teen Mom, where their visits with Carly were a recurring theme. They later had 3 more daughters and got married, an event that Carly and her adoptive parents attended. However, as Carly approached her 15th birthday in 2024, a visit was not in the cards. Catelynn was subsequently blocked from reaching out to Carly, a decision that has caused significant emotional distress for her. Catelynn's controversial comments. Catelynn has been vocal about her desire to reconnect with Carly, often expressing her frustration and sadness over the situation. However, her recent comments on TikTok Live have drawn the ire of fans. During the live session, Catelynn discussed how her adoption with Carly is now closed. She explained that since it was an open adoption, it was not legally binding, allowing the adoptive parents to close and reopen it at their discretion. Unfortunately, Catelynn's explanation seemed to generalize this situation to all adoptions, leading to a backlash from fans. Fan reactions. Fans took to Reddit to share their thoughts on Catelynn's comments, expressing their frustration and disappointment. Here are some of the key points raised by fans. Misleading information. Many fans felt that Catelynn's comments were misleading and could confuse those who are new to the adoption process. They argued that not all adoptions are the same, and her generalization was inaccurate and harmful. Lack of forethought. Fans criticized Catelynn for not thinking before she spoke, highlighting the potential impact of her words on others. They felt that she should have been more careful with her language to avoid spreading misinformation. Focus on Carly. Some followers expressed frustration with Catelynn's fixation on Carly, suggesting that she should focus more on her 3 daughters at home. They felt that her constant talk about Carly was draining and seemed to be motivated by a desire for attention and a storyline. Motivations questioned. There were also comments questioning Catelynn's motivations, with some fans suggesting that she might be using Carly's story for personal gain or to maintain her relevance in the public eye. The debate continues. The debate surrounding Catelynn's comments has sparked a lively discussion among Teen Mom fans. Some argue that she needs to be more mindful of her words and the impact they have on others, while others believe that her actions are beyond redemption at this point. Here are some of the comments from fans. She seems to equate open adoption not being legally binding. YBNT could close the adoption, with all adoption not being legally binding. I'm really tired of these uneducated, unemployed losers. If they were to get a job, they wouldn't have time for all the misinformation they are spewing. They need help. They gave her up for adoption so she would have a life they couldn't provide. What are they doing right now? Dragging that same child into the same kind of family drama they wanted to keep her out of? All this does is cement the fact that Kate gave up her daughter to keep her man, and maybe now she has regrets.